DEUTZ-FAHR would like to welcome you to the presentation of its Terminal Information System with the abbreviation Terrace, as well as the Terminal Control System with the abbreviation TCS, and also the TCS SAT. If you have any questions or wishes after this screen show, our staff is at your disposal. Let's start with Terrace, the Terminal Information System, which is available for all top liners up to 4090 as an optional extra. With Terrace, a system which functions with the CAN bus link and a central processor for all functions, all actual analog indicators and switches are activated and indicated via and on the Terrace screen. This terminal screen of Terrace, 20 by 15 centimeters in size, is clearly and easily readable and equipped with the 386 processor. The usual standard display on the right in the cab disappears with Terrace and is replaced by an electronic box mounted outside the cab at the right side and therefore easily accessible. Hectare counter and loss monitors are integrated in the Terrace system, as well as the newly added control function of the return flow control. The load of the return threshers is continuously displayed together with the losses on walkers and sieve box on the central screen. Functions which are used on the road are located in a new and modern steering column. The remaining switches and buttons which are not integrated in Terrace or TCS are mounted in a new display integrated in a new armrest at the side of the multifunction joystick. Previous hydraulic controls in the joystick remain unchanged, as with standard equipment. The following important components can also be seen on the next picture. A main and very important characteristic of the Terrace and TCS versions is the possibility of emergency control of the combine. Even in the unlikely event of a loss of all electronic functions, the machine remains operational and can provisionally be controlled by mechanical means and go on harvesting up to the moment of repair of the cause of breakdown. The Terminal Control System, SAT and TCS, is also optional equipment for top liners up to 4090 and is logically identical with Terrace. The difference is in a bigger functional capacity which is needed especially for the ever-increasing demand for yield mapping in combination with GPS/DGPS. The basic TCS version without GPS/DGPS Terminal Control System is functionally identical with TCS SAT and can, when needed, be retrofitted later on by linking the system with a simple RS-232 cable with a retrofitted GPS receiver, and from there on functions as TCS SAT. The TCS without GPS is standard equipment with the new flagship from DEUTZ-FAHR, the Topliner 8XL. Due to the increased number of functions with this machine, including various settings and electronic pre-adjustments, basically the same terminal from the Topliner series up to 4090 was equipped for the Topliner 8XL, with a 586 Pentium processor and modular job processors interlinked with CAN bus and with the terminal operating for the various functional groups. Here you see the fully newly designed Operator's Control Center with integrated screen which is optically identical for Terrace, TCS and TCS SAT. The screen can be easily adjusted to each individual operator for optimal visibility. For TCS and TCS SAT, covered by and under the foldable armrest, there is a full and complete PC keyboard. With this keyboard, one can introduce or change basic calibrating values in the system. Even complete customer orders can be typed in, which can, after completing the order, be transferred to the chip card of the TCS system and are therefore available for further processing on the Office PC. For TCS SAT, the precondition is that the combine is equipped with a GPS module and corresponding DGPS equipment, which can be integrated in the GPS equipment. Alternatively, the reference station can be mobile or stationary on the field or the farm. The signals emitted by the GPS satellites and the DGPS correcting signals, basically only the latter permitting a precise positioning of the combine, are recorded continuously together with the yield data and the corresponding moisture content of the grain on the chip card of the TCS system. With this PCMCIA chip card, the data transfer from TCS to Office PC and vice versa is realized. On the next pictures, we would like to present to you the main menus as displayed on the screen. After the current supply has been switched on, the system announces itself with this menu. With this system check, all linked units are checked for functionality. Also, the new control systems work according to the fully proved DEUTZ-FAHR closed-circuit system. On the road menu, alongside travel speed, the following items are displayed: engine oil temperature, also the temperature of hydrostatic and hydraulic oil and fuel level in the tank. Additionally, electrical voltage, total operating hours, total mileage, as well as day trip mileage are displayed. This menu is the main menu during normal threshing operation and is only left for necessary adjustments and setting when other information is needed. Apart from forward speed, walker and sieve losses, load on the returns, grain level in the tank, as well as the position of the chopper deflector vanes is displayed. Especially noticeable is the online display of the actual yield in tons per hour or as tons per hectare. With the yield sensor used at DEUTZ-FAHR, after calibration for the actual type of crop, a precision of up to 99% can be achieved. The continuous display of grain moisture content also permits optimization of the best harvest periods, as well as reduction of drying costs. Revs of drum, cutter bar reel and fan are set in this menu. The small figure under the reel speed is the adjustable ratio by which the reel speed is automatically and continuously adapted to the forward speed of the machine. The second figure under the fan speed is the rev number to which the fan speed is adapted upwards and downwards by the inclinometer of the machine. The upper figure is the fan speed which is used on the flat. This menu indicates the data which has been set in the factory or at PDI. For the customer, the most relevant element is the screen contrast and light intensity, for optimal use during night work as well. With this menu, the sensitivity of the loss and return sensors can be adjusted to the crop conditions. The basic setting is done automatically according to order selection with Terrace after introducing the crop type by the computer program. This indicates the actual harvest situation in the corresponding field. With TCS SAT in the bottom line, the actual position of the combine is also indicated. With Terrace, the indication of all relevant data is possible in this menu. With this information menu, one can call up all information during threshing which is normally not displayed in the standard threshing menu. Independently of the menu actually chosen, warnings are optically and acoustically indicated and must be acknowledged and confirmed by the operator, otherwise the warning keeps returning to the screen. This example shows a typical warning when the driver has forgotten to close the tank extension whilst travelling on the road. Also, with the unloading auger out, a similar warning occurs. With TCS and TCS SAT, this menu displays the yield data as well as the moisture data, together with the average moisture value and the average yield, as well as the corresponding harvested surface. Calibration of the yield monitor, normally only required once per type of crop and 4 tank loads to achieve the desired precision, is done in the screen field with the kg symbol. Basically, only the real measured weight is input. In the service menu, further program parts for adjusting or introducing other data can be called up. On this menu item, the contents of the chip card is shown with the input data which should be transferred to the TCS databank and which has been processed with the corresponding DEUTZ-FAHR software on the Office PC. This image shows a work order which was downloaded from the PCM CIA card, or which could, if needed, even be typed in directly with the TCS keyboard on the machine. The finished work orders are recorded as log data on the chip card for transfer to the Office PC. Finished work orders can additionally be printed out with the optional machine printer. The SATograph is used as a mobile universal receiver for the GPS signals, also with integrated DGPS module or separate DGPS station for yield mapping with the TCS on DEUTZ-FAHR. The mobility of this system permits its use after the harvest time without any further problem on other vehicles for other purposes. With the LMID DEUTZ-FAHR GIS 97 software, which was purposely adapted to the TCS system by Cobera Land, various and multiple possibilities arise for the use on DEUTZ-FAHR combines and other vehicles, together with further communication possibilities with other software elements from Cobera Land and other software producers. This software has a continuous data bank system and uses Windows 95 and higher. In this part of the menu, for example, the log data with finished work orders is recorded from the TCS on the chip card. For further use, the precondition is the availability of a chip card reader, either integrated in the Office PC or separately linked to it. This picture shows the menu for new customer data. With this menu, actual work orders are loaded for the TCS system and consequently loaded on the chip card for transfer to the TCS system. On this map of a field, the GPS signals can be seen as a kind of track. Further on, individually selected software parameters can be used to establish the yield map. From the track map, a first unprocessed raw data map is established which visualizes the various yields with a previously selected color spectrum. The finished and verified yield map can be printed out with a color printer, for instance in this format as a written and colored record for the files. For ecological farming, also called precision farming, on the fractioned fields, obviously yield maps are not the only necessary tool. Further maps with the various nutritional values evaluated by soil samples whose position is shown here on the map should be established, eventually also with the software LMID DEUTZ-FAHR GIS 97. This can also be visualized as colored maps by a color printer. The nutritional maps, together with the yield maps, the weather influences and the planned crop sequence, form the foundation for calculation of the nutrients distribution of the next crop. This fertilizer distribution map can be established with the same software. From this map, the data is transferred to the TCS SAT mounted on the tractor, fitted with a fertilizer spreader with an adapted dosage system. The track to be followed on the field can be found by the cursor position on the fertilizer distribution map on the TCS SAT screen. The universal processor calculates continuously the necessary values of the dosage system on the spreader and adapts the spreader accordingly. The processor is part of the tractor, and for operating the fertilizer spreader, only a CAN bus cable together with the current supply has to be connected between the tractor and the spreader. With the new proposed systems Terrace, TCS and TCS SAT, DEUTZ-FAHR offers the technical solution to modern requirements for operator ergonomy as well as for the requirements of precision farming in a wide variety of uses. New machinery, which has up to now not been managed by a universal system, can, with smaller program adaptations, be integrated in the TCS SAT system. Terrace and TCS SAT from DEUTZ-FAHR. The answer today for the managerial tasks of tomorrow. DEUTZ-FAHR thanks you for your interest and wishes you lots of success with equipment from DEUTZ-FAHR.